This is the UAAP Season 73 Volleyball.
Adamson started off the way they did in set number 1 here in set number 2, but NU, a lot more, hard work from them here in set number 2. They were scrappier defensively, but, they just didn't pour as much into it as they needed to be able to equalize with Adamson.
That's right. More energy for the side of NU, but again, it's their errors that did them in here in set number 2. You've got spiking errors, you've got those net errors, you've got receiving errors, and even service errors for NU. So those were 3 points given to Adamson, and before NU knew it, when they looked up at the scoreboard, again, it's a 10-point double-digit lead for Adamson. You've got steady performers for Adamson. Of course, Pineda stepping up here to score in the second set. But Angela Benting's still there. Pao Soriano's still there. And you've got Kinlog also there. But it was Pineda who really, finished off itong NU for this second set. You've got great attacks from the back, from the middle, and also from that outside hitting position. Pineda, though very short, doesn't mind tall blockers right in front of her. Hits it strong and gives it her all every time. A few defensive lapses like what we saw for Adamson, but you can give them back. They were on top by a very comfortable margin at this stage of the match. Again, winning set number 2 and only needing one more set to close out NU. And like what we said, parang mas may sense of urgency pa itong paglalaro ng Adamson, even though that they're sure of a Final Four appearance, and it is NU who needs to get all 3 wins, all the remaining games to get into that Final Four positioning. 16-12, Adamson still leading in attack points, 2 blocks against none for NU, and unforced errors 4 and 7 respectively.
National University. Now their backs really against the wall. They need to win a set, and they need to win the match to keep their hopes alive of that slim chance of making it to the Final Four. Adamson, on the other hand, 1 set away from closing that door to everyone else and solidifying the cast of the top 4 teams going into the Final Four.
Here's Sassy Sullivan.
NU drawing first blood here in set number 3, 1-0. But Pao Soriano picking up where she left off in set number 1, actually, because she was relatively quiet, I guess you can call it that, in set number 2. But starting it off here in set number 3 with a solid hit from the middle. Underhand set by Sullivan. A hit from the libero Reyes. That first ball landing right at the net for NU, unretrievable for the Lady Bulldogs. And again, NU starting off early with these unforced errors, which is the reason they got buried deep in a deficit in set number 1 and set number 2. Let's check it with Nico Ramos.
Eric and Ducky, and you guys were talking earlier about how coaches have different approaches when it comes to their teams. We're here in the UAAP. We've seen a couple of different approaches. There's the friendly, fun approach of Coach Shaq de los Santos. There's also Coach Francis Vicente on the other side, who's very outspoken, very intense. There's also the calm, wise approach of coaches like Nespa Millar and Coach Vip Isada. However, for those who don't know this Adamson team very well, I don't think there's a more interesting coaching approach to observe than that of Coach Minerva Pante. Everyone calls her Mommy Dulce, and for good reason. For her players, there's always an encouraging hug or always a warm pat on the back and motivating words for them on the bench. And obviously, these Adamson Falcons are responding well without that added extra pressure on their shoulders. And after a 9-point win in the second set and leading this game 2-0, Coach Mommy Dulce nodded and told her girls, "Good job, I like it." Now, it seems like they're in a hurry to get home. I won't be surprised if there's a home-cooked meal for her team when they get there. Guys?
Thanks, Nico. Ano ba yung specialty ni Mami Dulce? Ano? Adobo?
Tignan ko lang,
There's Coach Minerva Dulce Pante, or Mami Dulce, as her players and people around here, the volleyball tournament, call her. Very motherly ang kanyang approach There's Byron with the error.
Hitting it into the net again.
Again, BCNU with the lead like it was in set number 2 when they had the lead for the first time in the match.
Yeah.
And the errors allowed Adamson to retake it and never let it, never give it up. Again, ito na naman, mga errors ng NU. They were up by 2, now we're tied at 4 because of these errors by the Lady Bulldogs.
That's right. Mervic Mangi has been a non-factor here in this match.
Almost actually the entire lineup of NU, ano?
Sell Byron.
They've scored points here and there, but they've nullified them with errors. Byron scoring there. Back to a 1-point lead for NU. Five serving 4. Makatuno to Angela Bentin. That was a little too close to the net. Free ball for NU. Nepomuceno. Angela Bentin firing away. And it's straight on the audio equipment here.
Oh, dikit na dikit. And the NU players, good thing they didn't dive. There you see Eric Dipan almost being hit.
Me and Doc Ian here.
That's a check ball.
We don't want to be casualties in this battle. Definitely.
Collateral damage, if ever.
Serving is Sell Byron.
NU still holding on to a slim 1-point advantage, 6 serving 5. Benting. Over on the first touch. Kinlog unable to finish. Nepomuceno does for National University.
Right, NU now picking up the pace, getting their groove. They're up by 2, and Nepomuceno loading it up and getting that ball through the defense of Adamson.
This is what Guy Nepomuceno needs to be doing a lot more. Just be aggressive.
She gets it back.
There it is. 2 straight points for Nepomuceno. And it's a 3-point advantage, the biggest lead of NU against Adamson in this match. National University Lady Bulldogs starting to come alive here in set number 3 with Guy Nepomuceno spearheading the attack. Instant replay brought to you by Shakey's. Shakey's, it's fun family pizza. One of their leading scorers, Nepomuceno, with a little help from Byron, have built a 3-point advantage against Adamson here in set number 3. In case you just tuned in, good afternoon. Thanks for checking out our coverage on Studio 23. We're 2 weeks away from the Final Four.
As we resume the game, the serve,
NU with a very slim chance of making it to the top 4 with a win here today. And in fact, they have to win the entire lineup of matches that they have, while Adamson a win away from closing out the Final Four picture, as they, along with Ateneo, are at 7 and 4 in the standings, right behind La Salle and Ateneo. Let's check in with Job De Leon.
Eric, you get the sense that NU's got some swagger back after the end of that second set. And Coach Francis Vicente only hopes that it's not a case of too little, too late. By the way, you've been talking about her. It seems like Kai Nepomuceno was able to respond to the coaching staff. In fact, she's the person whom they've been keying on after that set and during this timeout. The coach said it's up to her, the league's number 4 scorer, to push the limits on offense and make Adamson's defense really work hard. They're really hoping that Kai can be a spark to the team and lead by example. And the coaching staff has also been telling them na kailangan yung mag-ingay pa. You have to communicate out there. Even those on the bench have to help out in order to encourage everyone on the floor. And by the looks of how this set is progressing, it doesn't look like they're going anywhere. The Lady Bulldogs still want the handoff. Eric and Ian?
Thanks, Joe. Indeed, this renewed energy by the Lady Bulldogs, infectious. They have an 11-5 advantage in set number 3. Let's listen to Adamson.
Okay, anin yan, isa-isa nyo. Sigurado lang lahat ng tira dahil. Ha? Okay, habang nandiyan ka sa harapan. May, simple lang, simple lang. Ha, simple lang. Okay, isa-isahin nyo yan ha, 6 pa yan. Mayet, hindi ka nakahanda eh. Nung mag-receive ka, hindi ka nakahanda. Alam mo bakit? Nakatayo ka. Tulong na lang.
Coach Dulce Pante trying to, maunahan yung problema bago lumala.
Yeah.
As she calls a timeout right away. It's a 6-point deficit against the Lady Falcons. They've come up with a few unforced errors here. Like yung final shot ng Adamson, which is, a hit at the net. Naging 4 touches against them. Poor first ball. And Coach Dulce Pante really now looking intently at the Lady Falcons. Kanina, the entire first 2 sets, nakaupo lang to si Mami Dulce.
Yes.
At napatayo na ngayon. They're down by 7. 12 serving 5.
Oh, another service error.
Wow. And look at the energy right now of the NU Lady Bulldogs. Something they weren't doing. They weren't as happy. They weren't enjoying. I know it's not fun to be losing a set, but